So I want to put you on the spot now.
Oh, no.
I want you to make a case for why local museums are critical for the small towns.
Because at some point, your grandpa or your dad are going to be gone. And to be honest, with the way that the museum is set up now, their memories live there. Mm. They are relatable. We have people coming from all over the country and they're like, oh my gosh, I had something just like that. We are down to earth, building full of memories, but it's relational to the objects. Mm. So yes, we have a lot of stuff, but we have things where you're going to walk through and you're like, oh my gosh, my dad had that press or that saddle or whatever when I was growing up. And then you're going to talk about all of that. The other part is that since we are on a path and we're really dedicated to bringing and engaging that new generation, we need to exist so that we can take all of that and grow with them so that it's relatable to them for context. We all know what happens when you don't talk about history. It will repeat itself in one way or another. So if you do not inform them, if you do not give us the opportunity to inform them, and then allow us to take on the responsibility of deciding how we want to present it to them, then we are ensuring that most of it will disappear because we're relying on everybody else to always be telling the story. Mm. And everybody's lived a life multiple times over. There's so much information. Like, it's incredibly daunting at times if you really think about it.
Right. So counterpoint, why don't we just take all of our museums, consolidate them into big city museums? Fewer infrastructure resources. We could all just go down there. We hear all the same stories, right?
With the growth we've seen, that's basically like saying we're going to put a museum in Seattle. Mm. Are you going to drive all the way down to Seattle just to go to the museum? I don't think so.
No.
Relational proximity is important. Doesn't mean we have to be big, but it should be impactful. What type of being impactful is going to make a difference. Mm. And that's up to each individual museum to decide how they want to do that.
Do you think, now Lynden might be a special case because Lynden has such a very specific and a very rich history to it. But do you think, by and large, local communities support their museums enough?
Not enough, but I do think that it's hard for people to understand how. Like, I don't want to come volunteer at the front desk. I don't want to come help you paint walls. It's part of our responsibility to make people understand how they can participate. Sometimes that's just coming to a free open house. Some of times it's saying, hey, you're already out at the parade on June 1st or whenever the Farmers Day parade is, just come say hi. Or it's to share. You might not want to go, but tell other people that you think might be interested. Or if you are close with another organization, tell them to come see us. There are so many different ways that we can make what we do possible. And it's hard for us to be transparent about all of that. So just managing that part of the relationship.
Do you think one of the ways to help let the community know about the value of these museums is for the museums to change their value proposition, to add something new?
Yes and no. There is something about, like, you can't sacrifice who you are to get something that you think you want. For us, what we really, really would like is to, double our visitor count or whatever that is, or double our event participation or raise twice as much money. But we can't sacrifice those values. And that's why companies have those values, is to keep them from going off on a path that no longer represents who they are. Should they be evaluated every decade? Probably. We just recently revised our mission statement, more so because now we've been around for almost 50 years and it was too specific, like of a content. Well, the longer we're around, the more history that technically we need to represent. So let's make sure that we are still explaining that that's what our goal is.
So give us an example with the mission statement. How did those change?
Coming from a business background and strategic planning, you need your mission statement or your vision. Some people use them a little interchangeably, so it's a little bit of an opinion.
Yeah.
Repeatable. So if I can't explain to you right away what my mission is at the museum in 2 sentences and encompass most of my mission statement, how are you supposed to know what my intent is? And that is a lot of the challenge. And so our mission statement, our visions were really long, like good paragraphs long, all great stuff, but we didn't need all of it in there to communicate to people what we're there for. So we just went through a revision period. This was part of our kind of get down and dirty change portion where we go through strategic planning, we go through mission and vision statements, we go through financials, we go through programs, we go through marketing. We went through everything with like a dream at the end of where we wanted to be at the end of the 5 years.